a king, celebrated in scripture and carved into the very emblem of a nation. Now imagine that same king hunted across his own kingdom, his roar fading from the landscape until only a handful of survivors remain, cornered in one last forest. This is the story of Asiatic Lion and the one ruler who was forced to choose between a royal hunt and history itself. When we think of lions today, most of us picture the sweeping savannas of Africa. But that's only half the story. The Asiatic lion, a cousin to the African lion, slightly smaller with a distinctive fold on its belly and a less overwhelming mane, once commanded a vast kingdom. Its roar echoed from Greece across the Middle East through Persia and all the way to eastern India. For thousands of years, this was our lion, Panthera leo persica. Its presence is etched into the soul of our subcontinent. Our national emblem, the lion capital of Ashoka, is a symbol of a just and a powerful ruler, an emperor who chose the lion to represent his ideals to the world. The lion wasn't just an animal, it was a metaphor for power, for courage, for loyalty itself. But like history has it, empires fall. And the lion's kingdom was no different. The arrival of firearms changed everything. During the British Raj, the culture of shikar, or hunting, transformed from a pursuit of a necessity to a demonstration of colonial and noble dominance. The lion, the ultimate symbol of wild power, became the ultimate trophy. Colonial officers, British dignitaries, and Indian princes alike saw a lion hunt as a prestigious, almost essential event. It was a conquest. Photos from that era tell the story. Men in helmets, rifles in hands, standing proudly over the body of a fallen king. The combination was devastatingly efficient. Relentless hunting pressure with modern rifles and the simultaneous clearing of forests and grasslands for agriculture, the lion's habitat shrank and its numbers plummeted. One by one, the lights went out. The lions of Bengal gone. The lions of central India silenced. The lions of Great Northern Plains vanished. The king was hunted out of his own kingdom, his roar replaced by the crack of a rifle and the silence of an empty forest. By the turn of the 20th century, a creature that had defined royalty for millennia was gone from everywhere in Asia except for one last tiny pocket of wilderness, one final desperate refuge. The last sanctuary was the Gir forest, a rugged 1,400 square kilometer stretch of dry deciduous forest in Saurashtra Peninsula of Gujarat, and was part of the princely state of Junagadh. Here the last of the Asiatic lions, maybe 20, perhaps as few as dozen, clung to existence. Think about that. An entire subspecies reduced to a population that could fit in a single large room. The world at that time had a little patience for conservation. For rulers and officials, wild animals were a resource, and a lion hunt was the highest form of entertainment, a way to host important guests and project power. The idea of banning royal hunt for such sought after prize was almost unthinkable. It flew in the face of the entire culture of that time. The situation was so dire and the population was so small that it was becoming difficult to even find a lion to hunt. The species was literally one bad hunting party, one trigger happy dignitary away from being wiped off the face of the planet forever. The stage was set for a tragedy. The final act in the extinction of the Asiatic lion seemed inevitable. But then history pivoted on the decision of one man. The ruler of this last lion kingdom was the Nawab of Junagadh, Mahabat Khanji II. The exact catalyst is debated by historians. One popular account says that Lord Curzon, the Viceroy of India, was invited for a lion hunt but declined when he learned how critically low the numbers were, urging the Nawab to protect them instead. Another version suggests that the Nawab himself came to a moment of profound realization. Whatever the trigger was, what the Nawab did next was revolutionary. He did the unthinkable. In an act that defied the entire sporting culture of the British Raj and the expectations of his peers, he banned lion hunting in his state. At a time when a dead lion was a symbol of a ruler's power, the Nawab of Junagadh declared that a living lion was a symbol of his responsibility. He drew a line in the sand and declared that the last lions of Asia would not be shot for sport on his watch. He transformed the hunting preserves of Gir into a sanctuary. It was a single act of a royal will, a personal commitment that placed the survival of a species above prestige and tradition. The fate of the Asiatic lion, which seemed sealed, was suddenly given a fighting chance. The Nawab's decree saved the lions from immediate extinction, but saving a species is a marathon, not a sprint. With this newfound protection and later under stewardship of the Indian government, the Gir lion population began its long, slow, painstaking recovery. Gir was declared a wildlife sanctuary and eventually a national park, decade by decade, with the tireless work of forest guards, conservationists, and the crucial partnership of the local Maldhari community, the semi-nomadic pastoralists who have coexisted with the lions for centuries. The numbers began to climb, from a dozen to over 100, then 200, then 300, and today the population stands at nearly 700 individuals. It is, without exaggeration, one of the greatest conservation success stories in the world. The roar that was nearly silenced now echoes proudly through the forests of Gujarat. Now that is a comeback story. But this incredible success has created its own complex modern challenges. A growing population needs space. Lions are now spilling out of protected Greek sanctuary, colonizing new areas, and increasingly coming into contact and conflict with human settlements. And there's a deeper, more invisible threat. Because the entire world's wild population of Asiatic lions is descended from the tiny handful of survivors, they have an incredible small gene pool. This founder effect makes them genetically vulnerable. A single catastrophic disease outbreak could theoretically devastate the entire population. The story is far from over. Conservationists are now working to manage conflict and are actively planning to translocate some lions to a second home, to create a backup population and ensure against disaster. But the legacy of the Nawab's decree is the foundation on which all of this is built. It teaches us that conservation isn't just about science, it's about will. It proves that the action of a single individual at a critical moment can alter the course of a natural history. It's a story of hope, a powerful reminder that no matter how dire the situation seems, extinction is not a foregone conclusion. Sometimes all it takes is one person to look history in the eye and say, no, not on my watch. From the brink of extinction to a symbol of a national pride, the story of the Gir lions is a testament to survival. Until next time, this is your host Mansab signing off. Keep that curiosity blazing, and as always, keep it simply wild.